very kind words. My story is the song that Harmonious Choral just sang for us as the grace and mercies of God, which has brought me this far. As Paul said in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 9, I am the least among the apostles, and I don't even deserve to be called an apostle. But by the grace of God, I am what I am. Amen. This evening, I'm here to share with you some experiences in my life, and especially why it is important for us to not just practice in our fields, but do so with professionalism. Professionalism is very important. In whichever field you find yourself, it is important to note that professionalism is a major determinant required for success. You need professionalism to get you to where you need to get to. It is very important. So don't just practice, be a professional and show professionalism in what you do. There are many fields that are there. In accounting, in law, there are many people who work in the accounting field, many people who work in the law field, many people who work in the insurance field. But there are professionals in these fields. And it is important that you just don't exist in that field. You have to be a professional in that field. I looked up professionalism, and I liked one description that I found. It says, the skill, the good judgment, and polite behavior that is expected from a person who is trained to do a job well. The skill, the good judgment, and polite behavior that is expected from a person who is trained to do a job well. So, in your field, you need the skill. You need to have the skill to do what you do and to do it well, do it right. You need good judgment. You need polite behavior. You need to be trained, and you need to do the job, not just do it, but do it well. Why is professionalism important? Why is it important? We've been talking about entrepreneurship all along. Whether as an entrepreneur or as a career person, professionalism is important. Why? Because professionalism helps you to get the job. It helps you to get that contract. It gives you that credibility that you need. It gives you that recognition. People see that kind of expertise that they need from there. And so it is important that we don't just practice, but we do so with professionalism in whichever field we find ourselves. So as hallmarks for professionals, the first one is that you need professional knowledge, which sometimes comes with a qualification. Sometimes there are some designations at the end of your name which shows that you have a professional qualification in that field. As you heard from my bio, I am a fellow of the Chartered Certified Accountant because I work in two fields, in insurance and in accounting, and in both fields I have professional qualifications there. And I'm an associate of the Chartered Insurance Institute, both professional institute, and you need that professional knowledge, that professional certification. Get certified. Whichever field you find yourself, you are an electrician, you are an artisan, you are an accountant, a lawyer, in whichever field that you find yourself, it is important that you get certified, because it gives you that credibility. It opens doors. And when there's an objective analysis, that gives you an edge. You also need competence. You need to understand your trade and know how it works. When you are given a set of data as an account person, you need to be able to extract a trial balance and prepare a set of account, and not just do it as somebody, as Dr. Pipimu will say, biala biala. You do it with expertise. If anybody sees it, they will know that this was done by a professional. Next time when anybody is looking for someone to do something in that field, they'll come for you, because everybody likes good things. Reliability is another great hallmark of professionals. No excuses. You realize that it is easier and more pleasant to stand chest out and say, done. But it is difficult and face-saving to look for an excuse that is convincing. When you have to explain why you didn't get it done, you don't have that confidence, because you failed. You didn't get it done. So reliability is important. Get it done and say with confidence, done. Next time when they need people to do the work, they will come for you, because they know that at the end you will say, done. You won't tell them, you won't give them one page of excuses why you didn't get it done. Discipline is very important. I'm usually in the office by 7 in the morning, even though work starts at 8. And I go through my long routines. Somebody said discipline is doing what you have to do when you have to do it, whether you feel like doing it or not. If you want to be a professional, you need that kind of discipline. Whether you are an entrepreneur or you are a career person or whichever field you find yourself, to do it with professionalism, you need that kind of discipline to get it done. Honesty is becoming a very scarce commodity, qualification in our world. Even dishonest people want honest people to work for them. And so it is important that we learn to be honest. I'm a fellow of the ACCA, and there's a code of practice. And one of the behaviors I need to show is honesty. If anybody sends any information with evidence that I have been dishonest to the ACCA, I will be delisted as a fellow. Honesty is important. In the work that I do, when you have to give an approval and you review something and you say, this thing needs to be improved, somebody thinks this guy needs a bribe, so they put something in an envelope. So often I will tell you, I don't need an envelope. I need you to fix this document and I'll approve it for you. That way, they would know the value of getting things done properly. There have been times where I have come very close to very dangerous things. So some time ago, when I was much younger in my career, my boss made me process some payment. I did it. I got him to sign off. I did not know that he didn't have authority from our board to do it. So it got to a point where the board was investigating that payment. Somehow he got wind of it and told me that If any member of the board asks me, I say, I don't know anything about that payment, and I should hide all the documents. What I didn't know was that the board had already investigated everything, and they knew that I was the one who processed the thing. So they called me. That day, I had to decide between telling the truth and when I finished talking, they told me that we know everything that happened. If you had lied, you would have followed your boss because we have fired him. Honesty is becoming a scarce commodity. It is becoming a major problem for entrepreneurs. There are many businesses which have collapsed because people are not honest. They steal from that very business that feeds them, and they don't care whatever happens. In fact, now when people want to recruit, they don't worry so much about competence. They are worried about integrity, honesty. That is the number one criteria. And that is the reason why in a number of Ghanaian companies owned by Ghanaians, you will see Indians as the bosses because the Indians are honest. Have you noticed that we have an influx of artisans from our neighboring countries in the country? Carpenters, tile layers, POP. There are guys who have come in from our surrounding countries, and they are doing it. Whenever you see construction going on, go there. You will notice that the guys working there are not Ghanaians. Why? Honesty. Honesty is an important hallmark. As a professional, honesty is really a great thing, and it will get you where you need to get to. Don't worry about all the things that you see. The other thing is hard work. As a professional, to show professionalism, you need to work hard. You don't have to be lazy. You need to get the work, do the work, and do it well. Work hard at it. Nobody has succeeded without working hard. When you see successful people, what you see is just the success. So somebody says success is like an iceberg, right? What you see at the tip is just the tip of it. Down below, it's all hard work. So without that hard work, that below the sea, that tip will not show. When everybody wants to be ordinary, dare to be extraordinary. One of my former bosses told me that the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is the word extra. Go that extra mile that nobody wants to go. Take on that extra responsibility, even though it may come without any additional benefit. Take it on. It will show up. It will pay up where you don't expect and in bigger proportions than you think. So, some time ago, my boss called me and said that there is some work that needs to be done for an organization, an international organization that is in Toronto, about how we document, how we deal with our insurance companies that get into trouble. It was a lot of extra hard work. I spent hours and hours. That was just additional responsibility. But guess what? Finally, when that document got presented, it was accepted, and I got invited by this organization to present it at a conference, and people liked it, and I got invited to various parts of the world to do that. That has built me good network in the international insurance arena, And I've heard our previous speakers talk about network being our net worth. So if you want to excel and prosper, if you want to matter, if you want to make a difference, don't just practice.